Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about how to figure out when your ex will reach out. Okay, so the main thing that I want to address in this video, and I'm going to get into it straight away, is guessing games will just drive you mad. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Like if you're trying to figure out when your ex will reach out to you, like you may be searching up videos on the no contact rule or something like that, and you're looking at videos on how to tell, basically how many days does it take for your ex to miss you or something like that. Doing things like that is just going to drive you crazy, okay? Because there's no way that you can really tell how long it's going to take for your ex to reach out, because you're not no one's a clairvoyant. No one can read the mind of your ex. Your ex is a very unique individual human being, and you can't really predict human behavior like that, okay? Because it may be the case that they're completely over it and you'll never hear from them. Or they may still have feelings for you and maybe they'll reach out eventually. But trying to figure out like how many days, and you may even like put like a certain day on your calendar and then every day you're crossing it off. I mean, honestly, it's just gonna drive you mad. So you want to avoid, guessing games and trying to figure out when they're gonna reach out to you. Because the truth is, they'll reach out to you when they are ready to. And that could be any time, right? That could be tomorrow. That could be next week. That could be a month from now. They may even reach out to you 10 years in the future to say something to you, right? Perhaps they want closure on something or something like that. Like, we don't know, right? Unless you've perhaps, the only way you can tell and guess if your ex is going to come back at a certain amount of time is if they've done this sort of thing before. So let's say they dumped you before and then they came back within a couple of weeks, and it's something that's happened a lot, periodically over a number of times. Let's say they've even done it multiple times. That's the only time you can really guess when they're going to reach out to them again, because they've done that sort of thing before and they've always reached out, like let's say like 5 days after dumping you or something like that. And then you get back together and then it happens again, then it happens again. That's the only time really you can guess that your ex is going to come back. So, one of the things that is important is that I really want you to think about is waiting for them. Just waiting around for them is just going to make you feel worse, right? So don't be one of these people that sits by the phone, that always checks when they're online and things like that, especially if you have them still on your social media and you still have them on like things like WhatsApp and stuff. Don't be checking, and don't be just sitting around waiting for them to do something, because again, you don't know, right? Unless again, this is a pattern that they've done before and you've got back together, then there's no point you sitting around. Even then, there's still no point you waiting around and sitting by the phone waiting to hear from them, right? And because the more time that you spend alone thinking about these things, maybe you come home from work or you come home from school and you're just sort of online all night long and waiting for them. You might even just be thinking about them, doing things that remind you of them, like looking through old photos, going back over old text messages and overanalyzing them. Or you're listening to music that reminds you of them. This is all stuff that I used to do with crushes. I would like look at every single word that they said and try to guess what they really meant, as if they meant something else, to see if they actually really did like me or that they were coming back into my life. And listen to music about them, stuff that would remind me of them, and it just kept me stuck in place. And the same thing is if you've got an ex that this is happening to, right? And if you are listening to music, if you are looking through old photos, overanalyzing old text messages, it's just going to keep you stuck and it's going to make you feel worse. So, I made a video recently called The Best Revenge for an Ex That Has Dumped You, and that will help put you in a better mindset to help move you along so you can basically get to where you want to be in life, and to do exactly that, perform the best revenge on your ex, right? So the main thing that you need to know is that they will either reach out to you or they won't, right? So your ex, so there's no point really sitting there waiting for them, because they're either going to reach out or they're not, right? And either way you'll get an answer. Like, time reveals all when it comes to an ex that has dumped you. They'll either reach out to you or they won't, right? And you have to let go. You kind of have to be free when it comes to that sort of thing. you have to be a lot more chill about it, basically, because if they care about you, if they want you back, they will come back, right? You have to be like really zen about it, I guess you could say, right? And just say to yourself, like whatever will be will be. Like they'll either come back or they won't. But you shouldn't be waiting by the phone for them, and hope, just over obsessing about it and things like that, because it's not gonna make you feel any better, and it's not gonna bring them back. Definitely not. So it's better to just move on. And when I say move on, I don't mean that you're gonna, to instantly forget about them. I just mean to just focus on other things and to do other things. Don't be waiting around for them and crossing off the days when you can reach out to them or when you feel like they're gonna reach out to you. Just carry on with your life and get help. Seek therapy if you need to. If you feel like you're really struggling with this, because that will help. But at this point, you really just need to let go and stop guessing when they're going to come back, because you don't know, right? No one has the answer for that, right? Some coaches on here may guess and give you a good time when perhaps they will. But again, you still don't know, because remember, your ex is still a unique individual human being, right? And they have lots of variables, lots of idiosyncrasies about their life and things. Like they've got a lot of stuff. They've probably got a lot of stuff going on, because everyone usually does. Every human being has things that they need to attend to, right? So you shouldn't be guessing how a certain individual is gonna act and behave on when it comes to other data that may be on the internet, because you simply just don't know how they're gonna act, how they're gonna respond. So you have to let it go. You just have to let it go. So, another thing that I tell people is to ignore any of their social media habits. So this is really important, because I think a lot of people get confused, because especially when it comes to the no contact rule, they'll think like, oh, my ex liked my post. Does that mean that they want me to reach out to them? You need to ignore all of that kind of thing. You need to ignore them commenting on things. You need to ignore them liking your posts. You need to ignore them reaching out to you like by watching your stories. You don't want to be, or they may even like some of your stories, right? But if they're not sending you a message directly, or they're not phoning you up, then you need to ignore all of that, right? Them watching your stories doesn't mean anything, right? It could mean that they want you back, but if they haven't directly messaged you, it's not enough for you to take action, okay? The action they need to take is they need to message you and reach out to you first, okay? Especially if they were the one that dumped you, okay? And they were the one that wanted to end things. If it was their idea to end it, it has to be their idea to reconcile. So it has to be them reaching out to you via Messenger, texting you, or calling you up. It has to be that. It can't be anything else. Them adding you as a friend on Facebook doesn't really mean anything, right? It could mean something, but more than likely not. More than likely, it's not going to mean anything until they reach out to you, right? Them liking your posts doesn't mean anything unless they reach out to you, right? Them watching your stories doesn't mean anything unless they reach out to you. So if it's not a phone call or a message, you need to ignore it. You have to ignore it, right? And start moving on with your life, and stop overanalyzing every single little thing your ex does on social media or anywhere else, right? Overanalyzing old messages they've sent you. You need to stop doing that sort of thing and start focusing on different areas of your life. And please do go and watch that video on the best revenge for an ex that has dumped you, because that will help you with that kind of a situation. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.